The Mets have the bases loaded and nobody out for Pete Alonso. Here's the payoff pitch. Swinging a drive in the air. Well hit right center. It's got some legs. It's back near the wall. Grand slam! Pete Alonso! His first home run of the year. It clears the bases, and the Mets have opened up a 6-1 lead here in the 5th inning.
2-2 to Alonso. And Alonso drives one deep center field. Sanoja back, takes a look, and it's out of here! Pete Alonso ties the game with a 3-run homer. Dead central into the greenery. On a day when the Mets have been falling all over themselves, Alonso's been front and center, hitting bullets all over the ballpark, and that one clears the wall to tie the game.
Pete is swinging the bat better than any other Met right now after a grand slam Monday and 3-run homer on Wednesday in Miami. And he lifts one out to right field, chasing Rodin back to the warning track, and it's out of here! Pete Alonso goes the other way for a 2-run homer. Just a little half swing, and he hits it out to the other field. His 3rd home run of the year, and the Mets jump out to a 2-0 lead. First curtain call of the year. They're going to walk Juan Soto intentionally to load the bases for Alonso and push a runner into scoring position. That's lined toward the gap in left center field, and that's going to clear the bases. Acuna scores. Sanger scores. Here comes Soto. He will score. Alonso foils the strategy with a 3-run double. He's got a 4 RBI day, and the Mets again have a 4-run lead. It's 9-5. Soto at first and nobody out. Mets up 2-1 in the 5th. Drives this one out to left center field, back in the gap. Bleday won't get there. It hops up against the wall and stays in play. Soto being waved around third. He heads home. The throw by Wilson, not in time. Pete Alonso with a 2-base hit to drive in a run, and it's 3-1 New York. Pete just keeps on raking. Fouled away some tough pitches, and on the 8th pitch of the at-bat, he drives a double to the gap. Driven in the air to deep left field. Back goes left fielder Andujar, and it's out of here. 4th home run of the year for Pete Alonso to put a capper on another big night for Pete. 7-4 New York. This is the best start to a season that Pete Alonso has ever had. He is just on everything. Rounding out the crew. And Alonso lofts one to deep left center. Back in the gap. Looking up is Buxton, and it's out of here. Into the bullpen. Pete Alonso with his 5th home run of the year. And the Mets jump in front 1-0.
Fastball down the middle. Oh, boy. Center cut, as you like to say, Garrett. Mid-thigh, right in Pete's wheelhouse. If I was in that dugout, Gary, I'd be rubbing up near his next to his bat. He has just been sizzling.
And the slider lifted behind first base. Long run for Alonso over the shoulder. Beautiful play. Wow. That was really hard. That ball never found one side of Pete or the other, and he had to run directly out and figure it out on the move.
Oh my. That ball is tortured by Pete Alonso. It's 80 degrees, but it's still the polar bear's natural habitat.
And Pete hits one out to center field. Back goes Scott to the warning track. Back at the wall. It's out of here! Pete Alonso flips the game, and the Mets go back in front. Number 8 for Alonso, a 2-run shot, and it's 4-3 New York.
Oh, boy.
Pete hits one out of sight to left field. Forget that. That is way, way out of here. Pete Alonso strikes for his 9th home run of the year. A 2-run shot to put the Mets in front 2-1. Wow. The season of Pete continues. What a monstrous beginning to 2025 for Pete Alonso.
What a monstrous home run. That was a bomb.
Now the infield comes in with Pete Alonso, the batter.
Ball is a ball.
In the air, right field. That should be deep enough. Lindor tagging at third. Reynolds makes the catch. Here comes Lindor with the winning run, and the Mets have walked it off in the bottom of the 9th. Pete Alonso with a sacrifice fly, and the Mets win a scrappy game as they defeat the Pirates in the opening game of the series 4-3.
some credit for getting down the line and extending the inning for Pete Alonso.
And Alonso drives one to center. Taylor eases back near the wall, and it's out of here. Pete Alonso with his 11th home run of the season, a 2-run shot to tie the game. Just as he did on Sunday night. After Ohtani's first inning home run, Alonso responds with a 2-run homer in the bottom of the first. This time he gets the Mets even. Marte at second, Soto at first with nobody out. Alonso struck out his first time up. And Alonso hits one in the air to deep right field. Back goes Freeman to the warning track near the wall. It's out of here! Pete Alonso goes the other way for a 3-run homer. And the Mets go in front 3-1. So 2 out and 2 on. Now it's left to Alonso, who had a 2-out RBI hit in the first inning. And Alonso drives one into center for a base hit. That'll bring in Lindor with the tying run, and the ball goes all the way to the wall. Marte will go to third. Alonso steps in at second base with an RBI double, and the Mets have gotten even. It's 4-4 in the 5th. Alonso drove in a couple of runs last night. Now 48 for the year, 3rd in the National League. And he wastes no time driving one out to deep right center field. Back in the gap, Pages takes a look, and it's out of here. Pete Alonso with a 2-run homer. His 13th home run of the year. He's got 50 runs batted in, and the Mets have a 3-0 lead in the first inning.
Attacking the first pitch, a slider that didn't do much. He got it away, but it was just a little nothing pitch, really. Pete just got such power to all fields.
So here's Alonso, delivered a 2-run homer in the first inning.
And he drives this one to deep left field. Forget that. That is way up in the pavilion. Pete Alonso with his 2nd of the night, a 3-run bomb. And he doubles the Mets. Lead. It is 6-0 New York. 22nd career multiple home run game for Alonso, a 5 RBI night, and that was crushed.
He got a high cheddar.
447 feet. 3/4 of the way up in the pavilion in left field.
Well, that's what happens when he gets a hold of one.
And the Diamondbacks beat the Braves 11-10. That's 11 losses in their last 14 games.
Alonso drives one out to right. That's deep, and that is gone. Wow. Pete Alonso wasting no time on the first pitch of the 2nd inning. He goes opposite field against Landon Knack, and the Mets have a 1-0 lead. Number 15 for Alonso. 2 home runs last night and a home run on the first pitch he sees today.
54th RBI on the season. Pete is hot.
0-2 to Alonso.
And he lines one into left field for a base hit. That's going to go up the gap and all the way to the wall. Marte is in to score. Soto turns third. He will score. Alonso with a 2-run double. He flips the script, and the Mets lead it 2-1 in the 7th. Pete Alonso does what Pete Alonso's been doing all year, getting the big hit to put the Mets in front. Pete drives one deep to left center field. Beck goes back, takes a look, and it's out of here. Pete Alonso with a 2-run homer, his 16th of the year. And with that home run, he ties David Wright for 2nd place on the Mets all-time home run list. His 242nd career home run. And Alonso drives one to deep left field, back toward the corner. It is out of here. Pete Alonso strikes again, his 2nd home run of the day, his 17th home run of the year. Wow. He goes past David Wright into 2nd place all by himself on the Mets all-time home run list. A 2-run shot for Alonso to make it 12-3 New York.
Unreal.
Pete Alonso with a high fly ball, right center field. Marsh all the way back. He's at the wall, and that ball is gone. Off the batter's eye, Pete Alonso hits his 244th career home run. He's only 8 behind the great Darryl Strawberry for the most in Mets history. And the Mets are on the board immediately after Wheeler's exit.
The polar bear getting his foot down, getting a ball that he can get out over the plate, get his arms extended.
Fly ball right field, well hit. Judge going back near the wall. It's out of here. Pete Alonso goes the other way with a 2-run homer. Career home run number 245. And Alonso cracks one deep left field. Forget that. That is way out of here. Pete Alonso with his 2nd of the day, a 3-run shot. First pitch, 3 runs. And it's 11-5 Mets.
First pitch, fastball down, right out over the plate, right down the pipe.
And he's now just 6 behind Strawberry for the Mets all-time record. And he hits one in the air to deep right center. Back goes Mullins to the warning track at the wall. It's out of here! Pete Alonso ties the game with a 2-run homer. Lindor and Alonso 2-run shots in the 8th, and the Mets get even at 6-6. Number 247 for Alonso, 5 away from Strawberry, and he gets the Mets even in the 8th.
Inside and a ball on Pete Alonso. Lined out his first time. Always had the home runs, but he's hitting .280 this year, and he's showing off that home run power here. It is gone. Pete Alonso goes the other way. A 3-run shot to break it open.
Right field is where you get the most carry here in this stadium, and not a big 3-run homer.
247 in his career, and his first in the All-Star game. 5-0 for the National League.
And that's ripped out to left center. Forget that. What a shot by Alonso into the second deck. A 3-run howitzer, and it's 5-1 New York. Career home run number 248. Now just 4 behind Darryl Strawberry for the club record. A big breakout swing by Alonso. Line caught by Alonso, and the ball game is over. Pete Alonso going as high as he possibly could to pull down that bullet off the bat of Patrick Bailey. Alonso playing an amazing defensive series, caps the Mets' 6th straight win with a great grab. Diaz gets the save, Vientos with the big hit, and the Mets have won 6 straight. Alonso drills one to deep right center field. Lee watches this one go out of here. Pete Alonso gets the Mets on the board with career home run number 249. Now just 3 behind Darryl Strawberry. His 23rd of the year. 23rd pitch of the inning for Tang. And Pete drives one to deep left center. Forget that. Pete Alonso 250. 3-run bomb, 3-0 New York. Well, he squared up that fastball. 250 career home runs for Pete Alonso. That's one milestone. The next one is 2 home runs away. Here's Alonso, and he hits one in the air to deep left center field. Back toward the wall goes Martinez, and it's out of here. Pete Alonso, 1 away from the record. A 3-run shot to get the Mets back into the game. Career home run number 251. And it's now 5-3. Couple of mistakes by the Guardians, and Alonso wastes no time cashing them in.
One away from Darryl Strawberry and the Mets all-time record.
Fly ball, deep left field. Going back is Collins. Darryl Strawberry, you've got some company. 252 home runs. Pete Alonso has tied the Mets all-time home run record.
And Pete drives one to deep right center field, headed back toward the wall. It's out of here! Out of here! Pete Alonso stands alone. The polar bear on his own private iceberg. Pete Alonso, the most prolific home run hitter in New York Mets history. 253 home runs, more than any Met has ever hit in the blue and orange. Pete Alonso breaks Darryl's mark.
Look at that smile. Here's Alonso, a double and a home run tonight.
And he drives this one to deep center field. Harris goes back, takes a look, and that one's out of here. Pete Alonso adds another to his record. 254, his second of the night. It's 11-5.
Turn it on, Pete.
He's getting hot. There's no telling how many home runs he'll hit in the blue and orange.
Home runs. He'll own every record. Oh, they're calling him up for a curtain.
Nice.
Yes, sir. They love it.
Here's Alonso, and he gets one in the air along the right field line. Toward the corner goes Acuna, and it's gone. A home run.
How about that? Pete Alonso with a moonshot opposite field home run. His 29th of the year to put the Mets up 5-2.
I didn't think there was any way off the bat that that ball was going out.
But Pete is so strong and kept it fair down the line and had enough muscle to get it out of the ballpark. And Pete hits one deep to center field. Back goes Marcy to the warning track at the wall. It's out of here. Pete Alonso ties the game with his 30th home run of the season. Alonso in the howitzer, and the Mets get even 4-4. Fly ball right field off the bat of Alonso, back near the wall. It's out of here! Pete Alonso goes the other way for his 31st home run. The Mets' third home run in the first 2 innings, and it's 7-0 New York. 110 RBIs for Pete Alonso, who's trying to chase down his own club record of 131.
Pete Alonso with 2 out and nobody on. Pete, who had been red hot in his own right, now 0 for his last 10. High fly ball, deep center field. Back goes Perez to the warning track, back at the wall, and it's out of here. Pete Alonso with his 32nd home run of the year. His first hit in the series into the shrubbery in center field, and the Mets have a quick 1-0 lead.
Kingman-esque right there. That was a moon shot.
And now Alonso drives one deep left field. Green goes back near the wall, leaps, and it's out of here. Pete Alonso with his 2nd home run of the night. Number 33 for Pete. Soto and Alonso go back-to-back, and it's 8-2 New York.
Oh, boy. And Pete got out in front, one hand. Let go with one hand and hits it out.
Alonso at the plate. Lindor the free runner at second. Soto at first. Bottom of the 10th, tied at 2. Alonso drives one to deep right field, headed toward the wall. That ball is out of here! Pete Alonso wins it with an opposite field 3-run homer. The Mets put the 8-game losing streak behind them. Alonso's 34th of the year walks it off for New York. Pete had gone 44 at bats since his last home run. And since last October, this might have been the biggest one that he's hit. And now Alonso gets one in the air to deep left center. That is way out of here.
Oh, boy.
It comes down to the second deck. A monstrous home run for Alonso, his 35th of the year. And the Mets are just teeing off. It's now 7-1. Alonso drills one deep left center. That's gone. Pete Alonso homers for the 3rd straight game. Number 36 for Pete. And that ties things up at 1. That was a laser beam into the seats in left center. And he hits this one deep to center field. Merrill goes back, takes a look, and Pete has homered for a 4th straight game. Number 37 for Pete Alonso. 1-0 New York. He's not only hitting home runs, he's hitting tape measure home runs on a regular basis.
And it's a slider that just never comes out of the air. Covered by Alonso. And again, another one deep into the afternoon this time.
445 feet on that home run. Driven out to deep left field. Back goes Hernandez to the warning track, and it's out of here! Pete Alonso goes deep. His 38th home run of the year, and it's 2-0 New York.
Boy, Pete loves slugging against this Marlins team.